going to talk to you about one of my favorite topics, the holidays, and how to thrive in the holiday season instead of just surviving. I hear a lot of my clients, a lot of people say, I just have to get through the holidays, And hopefully today you can learn how to thrive and be a little bit more happy during the holidays instead of just get through them. And I know these steps will help you. They're 3 easy, simple steps because they've really helped me. And so I'm excited to share them with you. I've said before, I'm a little bit like Clark Griswold. I actually had a Clark Griswold incident the other day where I was putting up one of those spotlights in the front of my house and it wasn't working. And so I would come in and it would work, and then I'd go out and it wouldn't work. And finally it turned on and it went into my neighbor's window. So it was a total Christmas vacation. So anyway, I'm a little bit Clark Griswold, like I said. But I know, the holidays can be stressful too. The holidays, they're stressful. There's shopping. There's money worries. There's a lot of concerns that people have. And sometimes people have experienced a loss during the holidays. And in this case, I would definitely recommend finding a group or finding some sort of support for you during that time, because the holidays can be a very hard time for somebody who has experienced a loss. Even, a recent loss. Holidays can bring up a lot of sad memories. So that is one thing that I wanted to make sure that, sometimes people really do struggle during the holidays, and I send my love out to those people who are struggling. So we're going to go on with 3 easy tips on how to focus on what you love in order to thrive instead of just survive this holiday season. And I have my notes so I keep me on topic so I don't go crazy off topic this time. So I am excited to have everybody here. So, okay, my first step to surviving or to thriving instead of surviving the holiday season, my first step is don't expect others to please you. Don't expect others to please you. Okay, so I'm going to totally botch this. Hopefully my husband does not watch this later. There is a line in the movie Let It Be, the making of the Beatles album Let It Be, where George Harrison and Paul McCartney are having a little tiff, and George Harrison says to Paul McCartney, "Whatever it is that pleases you, I will do it." And my husband totally makes fun of me because I can't do the accent at all, so I probably totally botched it up. But I always think of George Harrison saying to Paul McCartney, "Whatever it is that pleases you, I will do it." So don't expect others to please you. And you can think of George Harrison and Paul McCartney. George was being very sarcastic, by the way. So leave the drama behind. Don't expect others to please you. And I'll never forget this one holiday. This was a Christmas Eve where I felt I was miserable, and nobody would have been able to tell on the outside that I was miserable. I looked happy. I think us women are good at just faking it along. I looked happy. Nobody would have thought anything was wrong, but for some reason on the inside I was miserable. And I had a hard time afterwards. I was telling my mom like a day later. I decided to tell my mom because I felt like I needed to for some reason. I had a hard time putting it to words why I was miserable. And when I was telling my mom, basically what was going on was everyone was on my nerves, driving me crazy and hurting my feelings. So that's basically what was happening. But when I would tell my mom specific things that happened out loud, she was like she wasn't getting it. And to me, it was sounding petty and small. And so here's a hint. When you're talking and complaining about something or about somebody or whatever, and it's sounding petty and small, well, it probably is petty and small. So this is, so anyway, when I'm telling my mom about this, and it was seeming petty and small, but I wasn't convinced. I had been wronged, my feelings felt so real. They were so right. And I kept going to try to tell her what was wrong, who had wronged me. And finally I blurted out, nobody did exactly what I wanted them to do. I blurted that out. There was silence, and we both bursted out laughing. And my mom said, "Well, that sounds about right." Okay, did I just say that? Nobody did exactly what I wanted them to do? Was it possible that the problem was not anybody else, but that it was me? Yes, that's not only possible, that was definitely what was happening. I was expecting everybody else to please me, everybody else to do the perfect thing in my eyes, okay? So I was definite that I was the problem and nobody else was. So yes, other people are annoying. They do or say things that you don't like. But this is what human beings do. So we need to allow that to happen. Now, this is not to say we let people walk all over us. And Marianne Williamson says this a lot. We can lovingly stand up for ourselves. We can lovingly stand up for ourselves. But overall, we just want to let everybody be who they are. So if there's a situation where you might have a situation, and I did have this happen, a situation where I'm having a problem with somebody in particular. I've had this happen, numerous times in my life. So if you're having really problems where you feel like you're being focused on, or you feel like you're being attacked by this person, so this is not to say that you let somebody walk all over you. You can lovingly stand up for yourself when you're in the right frame of mind. But if you feel like you're really having a problem with a person, I'm going to give you this is what I want you to do. And this is what works for me. And it's perfect. So you give it to God, the universe, love, because you cannot possibly understand what is going on from your limited perspective. You know that you cannot possibly, even though it seems so real and it feels like this person is wronging you, you have a very limited perspective and you do not know what is going on. So what you do is you give it to God, you give it to love, you give it to the universe, and this can be a very scary place. What you do is you let that person kind of stand in a place of not understanding with you. And it almost can feel like a free-falling moment, okay? So this can be a scary moment. It lasts maybe 5 seconds, and then guess what happens? God saves you. That is where God saves you, where you kind of give it up, you don't understand it, and that is when you get saved. And that's when you get further direction on what you need to do, whether you need to lovingly stand up for yourself, whether you need to just get over it because it's not a big deal, okay? So this is what, if you're having a specific problem with somebody, love says, Marianne Williamson always says, love says no just as easily as it says yes. But it does so, I'm going to add this, but it does so without gossip and drama. So if you need to say no, leave the gossip and drama behind. So that concludes our step 1 for having fun during the holidays, is don't expect others to please you. Okay, can you guess what the second step is? The second step is do not expect to please everybody. So while I was, expecting everybody to please me and mad because they weren't for no good reason, I was judging them. I'm judging, thinking that they should be acting differently. And as I'm judging them, I'm judging myself. I was mad at myself. And then that was compounding the misery. So I'm thinking, I shouldn't have said that. I should have done that. I shouldn't have worn that. It sounds crazy, but that's what we do. So we're judging ourselves. So we don't expect ourselves to be perfect, just like we don't expect other people to be perfect. I was telling myself I should have done this, I should have done that, maybe I shouldn't have done this. I was shitting all over myself, okay? And it's super unattractive. You don't want to shit all over yourself. It's very unattractive. So no shitting on yourself, no shitting on other people. Don't expect other people to please you. And remember that other people are human beings. Okay, so we remember that other people are human beings that annoy you and don't do everything that you want them to do. You are also a human being who probably is going to annoy other people and not do what they want you to do as well, okay? So it goes both ways. I know it's hard to believe and we don't want to admit that, but if you can get to that point, you're well on your way to thriving instead of just surviving during the holidays. So if you don't expect others to please you and you don't expect yourself to please everybody, you kind of just let everybody be who they are in their own space, you're well on your way to surviving or to thriving instead of just surviving the holidays. It's such a cool feeling. And at that moment, you really can start each and every moment brand new, and you can be open to all the good, which it mostly is good, the bad, you can accept the bad, and then the beautiful. So the beautiful leads me to the third step that I have for thriving during the holiday season, and that is watch for angels. So I want you to watch for angels. I'll never forget, I think it was last Christmas Eve, or it might have been 2 Christmas Eves ago. I love going to church on Christmas Eve. It's so beautiful. I had my husband and my nieces and my mom with me, and we were sitting there. We were in the balcony. I have a beautiful church, and I saw an angel, and it was so cool. I thought the decorations were meant to be to where it looked like an angel. I pointed it out to my husband and to my mom and to my nieces, and eventually they saw it. And it turns out the decorations were not meant to look like an angel. It was just, to us, we saw it. And it was so cool. It's hard to explain, but this is the season of angels. Think of Archangel Gabriel, who was the messenger angel to Mary. So you might have a messenger angel come to you this holiday season about something that you are supposed to give birth to in the new year. So be open to that and be open to seeing the angels. And think about, do you want to be do you want to be the person who in church sees the angels, or do you want to be the person who is complaining, thinking, about how things shouldn't have been this way, or how you wished your husband wouldn't have done that, or complaining about other people? Do you want to be that person, or do you want to be the person who starts fresh and new and is open to all these possibilities and can see the angels? I think I know which person you want to be, and I think I know what person I would rather be sitting next to. Okay, so make sure that you're being the person that sees the angels this holiday season. Tag me on Facebook. You can get a hold of me. Facebook, Instagram, Elizabeth@yourhighestlight.com. Email me. Tag me if you see an angel. Send it to me. Hashtag angels 2017. Let's say it that way. Hashtag angels 2017. So tag me when you see your angel. I want to see it. Share it with me. The more we can share it, the more real it becomes, and the more that we're going to be able to see them. So you sharing your angels with me helps me as well, and I'll share mine with you, okay? So that's why I wanted to do this video on December 1st. It's the 1st of December, and I want us to really be looking for angels all this month, okay? Because this is when they're out. Okay, so the 3 steps. Don't expect others to please you. Don't expect to please everybody, and watch for angels. And you're going to just attract such beauty this holiday season, and people are going to be so attracted to you because everybody wants to be around somebody who's not judging people, not judging themselves, and looking for the angels. Okay? And look at Prudence. She's just so cozy in this sweater. Okay, so that concludes the part of the tape where we are going to be talking about how to thrive in the holiday